Hello everyone, this is Sherry at Soul Conscious Tarot, and this is going to be a reading for the full moon in Virgo that is going to be happening. I think it starts actually tomorrow. So this is also a snow moon, a micro moon. So we're going to see what this moon is going to entail for us. I got a lot of cards to pull, so we're just going to jump right in and see what comes out. What does the universe want to tell us about this full moon this February in Virgo? So we have Dragonfly, live life to the fullest. Well, one of the things about this full moon is that it's been known, it's known to bring blessings with it. But it's also, I actually am liking this because, that's one thing, like, dragonflies are usually a sign of prosperity. They're a sign of luck and prosperity when we see them. Just when they cross our paths, they're usually a sign that blessings are to come for us. And I really am liking this energy. Let's go ahead. There's a lot of cards I want to pull. So I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and pull the oracle cards first, and then we'll go through them before I go into each one individually. So we have soul name. Well, and nourish wanted to come out, so we'll go ahead and take that too. And then we'll see what from the Gemstone Whispers deck, what we get for our gemstone for this full moon. So appetite, temporary halt. Now and then it's a good to pause in pursuit of happiness and just be happy. I love this. I love this, and we'll get into that more. I really love the way this is heading. This is beautiful, the cards that are coming out for this full moon. I really love this energy. So what do we got from the Sacred Souls portal? We have the Wheel of Fate. You are taking risks that could pay off, but know there is success even in failure. And this is the Essential Oils deck. I believe this is these two cards are from the Journey in Light, I believe, Oracle deck. And this is Mystical Wisdom, by the way. Encouraging, motivation as our Essential Oil card. I think that's all. I think that's all the oracle I was called to pull from all the decks that spoke to me this morning as I got ready to do this reading. So we have, as I said, the dragonfly energy. So this is bringing in, it's a playfulness. It's a kind of a childlike energy. It's embracing and living in the moment, being appreciative of what we have in our life, and I love the abundance, the blossoming, the blooming. And we're just about to, if you're in the northern hemisphere, we're just about to enter springtime, and so things are starting to bloom and to blossom and to grow and flourish, not only around us, but in our lives as well. The winter time is starting, that time of reflection is starting to come to an end, and things are starting to take hold and blossom. This is also talking about, as we're talking about blossoming, putting the seeds, planting the seeds and putting the seeds in motion toward the things that we want to blossom and bloom in our daily lives. So we have soul name here. This is actually, it says it's the #1 card. And if you think about it, there's meanings in names. And what is our soul name? What is our soul purpose? What is, what are the reasons, who are we? I feel like this is like there's this, I don't know if you can tell or see this, but that's a heart. There's a heart there, and it's a glowing heart. So this is feeling like it's coming out from our heart chakra, our sacred space, our heart space of what is, what's at the core, at the fundamental heart of the matter for us of who we are. Who are we? What is our soul name? Our name here in the physical 3D may not necessarily, it is, of course, plays a part, but it may not necessarily encompass the whole of our soul name and who we are at a soul level. And so it's identifying with our soul and our heart and who we are on that soul level and bringing that forth. You see how that's blooming. It's, that light is spreading out from the heart chakra, going within our heart and learning or understanding who we truly are at the heart and the soul level, and then bringing that out into the world and shining that light of who we are at a soul level into the world, blooming and blossoming and bringing that growth of who we are into the world, nourishing. This is self-love, nourishing who we are at a soul level, nourishing ourselves, nourishing who we are, learning to love and accept ourselves for who we are. And then we have the appetite stone here, this temporary halt. Now and then it's good to pause in the pursuit of happiness and just be happy. This is where we come back to this card of the dragonfly card of, living in the moment, seeing where we are. And I really feel like this full moon is a small halt on the journey of something, like the next step, the next phase in our growth, in our progression, in our life's journey. This is like, there's like almost like, because the last several years, especially the last year or two, have been, the planetary alignments have been such that they've kind of put us, like really started to show us things that needed to change. It was really, really highlighting those things that really weren't serving us in our lives, those people, places, and things that just weren't nourishing our soul. They were not nourishing our soul. And so we're realizing what we need to do to nourish our soul as an individual. And that's why the Wheel of Fate is here. That you have to take those risks to change in a way that best suits us. And you can't be afraid and have fear of changing and moving toward what is right for you. And even though it can be extremely hard and difficult, and it can cause a lot of fear because there's a lot of risk associated with it, it'll pay off hugely in the long run. And I like that it says here that to know that there's success even in failure, because this is saying that everything up until this point, even if you're in a place that you're unhappy, that unhappiness needed to happen to propel you forward, to help you understand what makes you unhappy. Because now that you know what makes you unhappy, you can change that and move in a direction that makes you happy. It's helping you learn what your soul nature is, what your soul name is, what your soul purpose is. It's helping you nourish who you are as a person at a soul level, and helping you understand those failures are not really failures. They're just, they're there to help you navigate and fine tune that dial to be able to help you. It's funny. It's kind of like, I heard this, I read this analogy, and I think it's very apropos for, or very fitting for this full moon. I feel like this full moon is like a leaky, like if you have a leaky faucet in your house, and that drip just keeps dripping. And it's kind of been, I feel like leading up to this full moon, there's been that like itch that you can't scratch. There's been that drip from that leaky faucet within us. There's that annoying thing that's been eating at us, that's been bothering us, it's within us, in our heart and soul, that's been getting at us, feeding at us, kind of irritating us. And this full moon is going to help us. It's going to help illuminate. It's going to help illuminate and show us what the problem is, what has been eating at us, and how we potentially can fix it. And for some of us, it's going to show us the way. It's going to show us that we have the tools to fix it. And if we realize we do not have the tools to fix that leaky faucet within ourselves, it'll give us the ability to understand where we can go for help to fix that leaky faucet. So that's kind of what I feel like this. So, here's why, and I said all that to lead into this card, this encouraging motivation card. We have the trigger statement, I don't know where to start. And I think that's been the problem up until this point in time with this full moon. This full moon is helping you understand where to start, where it's giving you the encouragement, the motivation to understand that if you don't have the tools necessary within you to make the change that you need to make, to put the seeds in motion, to move toward your destination, to be able to nourish your soul and become this shining bright light within the world of who you are, to be able to shine your individual, beautiful, fantastic light into the world. This full moon is going to help you understand where to start on how to do that. It's going to help you understand if you have the tools within you to do that, to make those changes. Or it will help you understand that you don't have those tools, but it'll help you understand how to go about asking for help for those places where you may not be able to do it on your own. That's why this is a very encouraging energy. And it tells you, I take action now. And we have that. There's a lot of action here with, like being able to be present. There's this dragonfly card that gives me this very, being present energy. The appetite card, which is kind of talking about taking that pause and just being happy. Just be happy, be in the moment. It's another card of kind of being in the moment. And then we have, you will find clarity and the ability to create now. This is your time to make things happen. And I really feel like that's the case with this full moon. It's bringing in the energy to help you make things happen that you want to happen in your life. In either through your own means or by seeking the partnerships and community that you need to be able to help you make those transitions and change, to help you make things happen in your life in the direction and the way you need to make them happen. And if it doesn't happen right away, it's coming in. That those answers are going to come in some way, shape, or form, especially if you take that pause and are present during this full moon time over the next few days. I really feel like that's going to come in. So I do want to get tarot. I kind of want to leave these cards out, but I don't know how to best do that and be able to make room for tarot too. So let me see how I can place these so maybe we can still see them. And then we'll get some tarot. I was moved, and I know it's not Halloween time, but I was moved to use this Trick or Treat tarot deck for the tarot messages for this reading. And I think it's because this deck, the minute I picked it up, it spoke to me in a very unique way because of the imagery on it. It kind of gives me, like, it speaks to me from a very inner child place. You know, I see it, it's a very fun, the imagery on it is very fun and childlike and playful, and so it kind of brings up that kind of energy within me. So let's see what we end up coming out here. I think I'm going to pull 5, and then we're going to get 5 cards from another deck as clarification. So we have the Knight of Pentacles here, Justice, I'm getting this as Monopoly for some reason. I don't know why. I guess the guy there, he reminds me of the Monopoly man right now. Not, he hasn't before on that card, but for some reason right now I'm picking that up very strongly. Monopoly. We'll see how that plays in. The 5 of Wands. Okay, and there's our last 2 cards. We have, let me make sure we have enough room. I'll move these over. Let's pull these down. Actually, we're going to move that up. There we go. I think we got everything where you can see it. Boy, it's going to be tight. It's going to be tight, but we'll do it. Okay, so we have the Knight of Pentacles, the Justice, the 5 of Wands, the 7 of Wands, and the 3 of Pentacles. This is interesting, very interesting. So this is us going out on our journey. I mean, look at this guy. He's ready. He's ready to go out and take on the world. Okay, he's just left his house. He's left his house. He's ready to take on the world. He's ready to fight all the injustices in the world, in his life, take on the world. You know, he's it's funny because I got that as the Monopoly man, and I just realized he actually is holding a bag of money, so maybe that is supposed to be the Monopoly man. I think this is actually supposed to represent, like, in this sense, like the US and capitalism and I'd have to get the book. I don't know. Let's see. Do I have that nearby? Let me. I don't know. I want to, for fun, I want to read that, but I don't think that it's not the message I'm getting as the message in the book, but for fun, we'll go ahead and read it. So let's see. We have, that's number 11. The Justice card. There we go. Mr. Moneybags and the Statue of Liberty sure came up with a unique couple's costume. Her tablet has the date of the Declaration of Independence, reminding us of the foundations of the American dream. All humans are created equal. How wealth is distributed, how freedoms are granted, and how equality is doled out make up the complex ways justice is experienced in our nation. When this card comes up, be prepared for the long arm of the law to catch up with you. It might be human law, or it might be universal or even spiritual law. You might be on the wrong side of it or the right side of it. We know how this works. You made your bed, now you can lie in it. You reap what you sow. You pay, you play. Karma's a bitch. If you've already done the deed, you will get justice for better or worse. If you haven't done the deed yet, this card warns you to consider the consequences before acting. Okay, it is fitting. I guess that's why it wanted me to read it, why I was moved to read it, because it is very fitting. It's very fitting for this, and I will tell you why, because I feel like that's a lot of what's been going on recently. Is like, I think a lot of people have been reaping what they have sown. And I think that is in order to help people understand that as it said, karma's a bitch, that it will catch up to you, to be cautious about how you move in the world, and to follow your heart, to follow what is true to your heart and soul, what is right for you. Because it's interesting, because you can't really go by, yes, we kind of have to obey the physical laws in our city, nation, country that are surrounding us. And in a sense, we kind of have to live within the confines of those. But there's the bigger universal and spiritual laws. And what's funny about that is it doesn't see right or wrong necessarily the same way as we do in our society, um, because it comes from a place of our soul, and what we feel is right or wrong at a soul level. It has to do with our values or our beliefs and what is internal, oh my gosh, I can't say the word, internally right for us based on our beliefs, values, and core systems. So I don't know if I can give a good example of this, but for instance, it's part of the reason we have a lot of conflict in the world, because what one person inherently believes is right or wrong may differ from what another person believes is right or wrong. And that doesn't mean one person is right and one person is wrong. It literally just means one person believes something different than the other person. And so the problem that we have, the conflict that we have, is when we try to battle to push our beliefs on other people in the world, and that's where it can be a challenge. That's where it can be that Five of Wands energy where you can butt heads with other people, um, or where we end up either fighting to push our beliefs onto other people, or we feel like we get where we have to defend ourselves. This guy looks like he's getting all kinds of stuff thrown at him, and he's trying to defend that off. We might have to defend our values and morals and beliefs, which is, you see that all over the place on social media, where you have people that are confronting each other from opposition viewpoints because of and people feel threatened and they feel like they have to defend themselves. And why do they do that? Because it's threatening their values and morals. And unfortunately, there's not an easy way to get around that other than learning to get along. The Three of Pentacles, learning to work together, learning to get along, learning to accept that we are all different. We're all unique. We all have different values and beliefs. And just because someone else's values and beliefs differ from ours doesn't mean that they are necessarily inherent good or bad person. It's just that they believe differently than we do. It just means that their soul, their heart and their soul, in their heart and soul, and what they've been taught and what they know and what they believe differs from us as an individual. So that's why it's important for us to take that moment to understand, what makes us happy, who we are as a person, nourish who we are, maybe step back from focusing on what other people think, what other people are saying, what other people believe, and go in and figure out what it is we believe, what makes us happy, who we are as a person, what nourishes us, what makes us happy, and not worry so much about what makes somebody else happy. Because that's, I can understand that sometimes we can get defensive, especially if it's threatening what we feel is our potential freedom, or threatening our values or morals or way of life or our beliefs. But this is where this full moon is giving us the power to not only see where the fallacies may lie within our values and morals, where they may not align with who we are. It's helping us see them, actually see the issue, get to the heart of the matter, and be able to take it on. Look at this guy. He's ready to take on the world. As I said, he's stepping out into the world. He's ready to take on the challenges. He's ready to set things right. Set things right for who? For you, for yourself. You're getting ready to go on this journey to set things right for yourself. You're ready to overcome the obstacles. And if you can't overcome those obstacles on your own, You're going to seek help from others around you. What we talked about up here. Let me go ahead and get the last 5 cards. I probably should have done this first, but if you watch my readings before, I can be a little talky. I definitely can be a talker. So I think I'm going to put these this way. So Ace of Wands on that Knight of Pentacles. This is the Mystical Melodies deck, by the way. I kind of like how it's a witch, but she's got that broom and the leaves are kind of falling down, like she's ready to just sweep out the old, sweep out, what's coming, all the cobwebs, what's coming down in her life, what's falling apart in her life. She's got that broom ready to take action and clear, like sweep it all up, sweep it all, like clear the way is what I feel like. That's what that card is kind of giving me. And then we have the Lovers card. Interesting that would fall on Justice. But it's interesting because this was like a unionship, a couple, and then we have a couple card following on that. And so it's interesting because I feel like this is a kind of a merging of, like balancing the scales, because one, the Lovers card, when it's not taught in a love reading, it's a choice. And what is this a choice? We have the snake. This is like Adam and Eve. This is like the Garden of Eden, and it's like making a choice. It's a choice. It's a decision about doing the right or the wrong thing, again, it's a balancing. And this is talking about justice and balance. It's like making the choice that is going to be right for you. That's going to be the right decision for us as individuals. Okay, give me a card on the 5 of Wands here, please. Give me a card on the 5 of Wands. The 9 of Swords. Yeah, this is what I think, this is what's been eating at us. That's that leaky faucet that's coming through on that 5 of Swords, because 5 of Swords is conflict. It's something that's eating at us. It's that leaky faucet. That's what that's representing, is that leaky faucet, the thing that's being illuminated right now, that's being shown to us, of what is what's really eating at us, what's really bothering us, what needs to be fixed. Okay, I have 2 cards that came out here on the Whack-A-Mummy, the 7 of Wands here. We have the 6 of Pentacles and the 5 of Pentacles. Interesting, as much as I've shuffled these cards, that those would come out together back to back. But it really is feeling like this is that giving that alone feeling, because look, we have the 5 of Pentacles, which represents that kind of being out in the cold, feeling alone, feeling helpless, feeling like a victim, feeling like, where the 6 of Pentacles is about balance, about balancing the scales. It can be about, karma, of righting the scales and reciprocity and putting things back into balance. And it could be that we feel like we're out of balance. Maybe we've been out of balance, and maybe we don't know how to come back into balance. That's that, I even feel like with the 7 of Wands here, and that makes sense with the 5 of Pentacles coming out, that it almost represents that victim mentality, like feeling like we can't or don't have the tools necessary within our toolbox to be able to make the change, to be able to set out on this journey and set out on this course to balance things or right things in our life. And that's where it's leading to this Community card. Let's get a card on this Community card. But I feel like this is asking for that help, or seeing where our community lies, seeing where we belong, seeing where we can go for help, seeing where we can get the tools that we need to be able to fix the leaky faucet within us, whatever that drip is, the thing that's nagging and eating at you, that's getting under our skin. I mean, I know what it is for me. I know what strongly has come up for me for this full moon. It already started coming up yesterday. And I've been seeing a lot. I've been seeing a lot actually this last week, this over the entire week. I have had so much anxiety this week, but because of that anxiety, I was able to see a lot of stuff, and a lot of stuff has been illuminated to me on things that I need to take in consideration, that I need to figure out for myself. But I'm still not yet sure if I have the ability to do it. I still don't know if I need to seek this help or not. But at least it's been illuminated to me. And I feel like that's what's happening for a lot of people, is they've been shown things that are maybe potentially causing issues that they need to resolve in their life. And then we have the Temperance card here. So this is, Temperance can be, it can represent, this can be spiritual guidance. Sometimes it can be a card of, it's usually got an angel on there because it's like our spirit guides, whatever, watching over us. And yeah, I do feel that they are trying to help us through all of this that we're working on. But it also can be a timing card, a card of divine timing, a card of patience, of needing patience. But what I'm really focused on here, and this is what's funny, is even though it can be all those things, look at this card. Look at this angel. She is so much fun. She seems like the silly, crazy aunt or uncle that you love to be around, that's always just silly and a whole bunch of fun, ready to just have a good time. Very childlike in nature. And we have the sun shining out here. I was really drawn to the sun out here and how happy this card is, how positive it is, how motivating it is. It's pulling me back to this encouragement, this encouraging and motivation card of saying, that I feel like not only are we supported through this journey that we're on at this time, but even if you're not necessarily a spiritual person, which would be interesting because I would think that it'd mostly be spiritual type people that would be watching tarot readings, but I'm not going to judge because, some people may watch it for whatever reasons and they may not be spiritual. So if you're not a spiritual person, it really is illuminating to me that, like that sense of finding, that it might be through going back to this dragonfly, of finding a way, maybe this weekend, finding a way to live your life to the fullest in the moment, again with this appetite to really, it says to pause in your pursuit of happiness and just be happy. Find something that's that pause. There's the pause. So that's how those tie in, because Temperance is like a timeout. It's a pause. It can be a timing thing. So I really feel like this is illuminating and saying to me, don't try to be happy. Don't try and find, like this would be a good time this weekend, maybe just to be happy, be in the moment, be happy, enjoy what makes you happy. And through that, you might see a way forward. It actually might, or it might help you connect to the right people, places, and things to help you move forward, to help you find the tools that you need, whether that be within you or through other people, to help you move forward, to help fix whatever the leak is within your happiness, whatever is causing that leak and keeping you from being happy as an individual. So I think that's where I'm going to wrap things up here. I think this was a great message, and I hope that it does resonate for you, and I hope that you got something nourishing out of it. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you so much for joining me today on this reading. I wish you the best this full moon and in the coming weeks to come. I hope you'll stay tuned as well. I have um I've changed my soul weather forecast that I do weekly to a weekly energy read of what you need to know now, something like that. You'll see it. It'll be out this weekend as well. I'll probably be pulling on it right after this reading, actually. So I hope you'll join me for that. Thank you once again. I wish you the best. Much harmony and gratitude to you.